Hello everybody, welcome to MJX Movies. Today I'll be yakking the 1997 film, The Lost World Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg. In this movie, we open with Site B of the InGen Bioengineering Company. It's their alternative site to the main site, which was Jurassic Park. At this island, a posh British family does what posh British families do. They decide to have their beach on shore on the beach. So while the crew of their boat, of their yacht, is setting up, their daughter wanders off down the beach to explore. She's met by some small dinosaurs known as compies, who attack her, thus creating another legal calamity for InGen and Dr. John Hammond. We then cut to Ian Malcolm, who has been discredited and tarred by InGen because they denied his claims about Jurassic Park, thus making him seem like a kook, a crank, a conspiracy theorist of sorts. He is summoned to the Hammond residence, where he runs briefly into Hammond's grandchildren before meeting with Hammond himself. It turns out Hammond's nephew has taken over InGen and is seeking to capture the dinosaurs on the Site B island for exploitation purposes. Hammond, however, would like to see the site turned into a preserve, a sanctuary of sorts. He's already enlisted the help of Sarah, Malcolm's girlfriend, who's already on the island, thus convincing Malcolm to go. Malcolm goes with Eddie Carr and Nick Van Owen, a technologist and a photographer activist, respectively. Upon arrival, Malcolm finds out that his adopted daughter, Kelly, is stowed away. They almost instantly find Sarah, and then as soon as they find Sarah, the InGen hunting team arrives. The InGen hunting team captures many dinosaurs and sets up a base camp, which Nick decides to have destroyed by allowing all the dinosaurs out. While this is happening, the main InGen hunter is attempting to capture a T-Rex. He's doing so by having captured and chained down a T-Rex child. In doing so, he fractured the leg of the T-Rex child. This leads to Nick, after having had the camp destroyed by the dinosaurs, and as well also the communications equipment, it's important to say. Nick decides to rescue the T-Rex. They do so, and they manage to fix the leg, but not before the T-Rexes figure out where the baby T-Rex is and come to recuperate him. And also they attack. Sadly, Eddie Carr perishes. Eventually, after everybody meets up, the InGen team and Malcolm and crew decide to join forces to go into the interior, where there is an abandoned InGen complex with communications equipment that allow them to signal the rescue team. Along the way, they run into some raptors, and things don't turn out well for the majority of the InGen team. They do, however, make it to the abandoned complex, where they do radio for help, but not before running into more raptors. And then, as Malcolm and crew are leaving the island, they see that InGen has captured a T-Rex and is bringing it back to the mainland. Once at the mainland, the nephew of Dr. John Hammond has a press conference where he announces all the things that are going to go on with the InGen Jurassic Park Amphitheater in San Diego. However, when the boat arrives carrying the T-Rex, it turns out the T-Rex has managed to murk all of the people inside of the boat, including those on the bridge, so I'm not really sure how that works. The T-Rex escapes and runs amok in San Diego. Malcolm and Sarah, are present, and they realize that if they can get a hold of the T-Rex infant, which was brought to the amphitheater facility, they can lure the T-Rex back to the boat and thus to safety. They do so, but not before destruction ensues. And then, to close out the movie, we see the dinosaurs literally walking off into the sunset. So, this movie stars a lot of people. Primarily, it stars Julianne Moore, and we've got Jeff Goldblum returning. The other returning cast members from the first one are Richard Attenborough as Dr. John Hammond for a pair of scenes, and also his grandkids show up for a scene. We've also got many great character actors in this. Richard Schiff, Peter Stormare. Obviously, Vince Vaughn also plays a large role in this. Arliss Howard is in this as well. And then also the great Pete Postlethwaite, who plays the lead InGen Hunter, is in this. And then many other character actors you may or may not recognize. So for this movie, John Williams returned to do the score, and I'll say that his score is great, as are all of the John Williams works. However, it's not as iconic as the original film, but then again, few scores are. For cinematography, Spielberg swapped out Dean Cundey for Janusz Kaminski, so a great cinematographer. And David Koepp returned to write this once more. I will say also in passing, I would have sworn that the name of this movie was Jurassic Park: The Lost World, but it is in fact The Lost World Jurassic Park. For this movie, I'll say that the CGI is not quite as great as the first one. I believe ILM returned to do it again. There are a little bit more spots of touchiness insofar as the CGI, but overall it was still pretty good, especially considering the era. The practical puppets looked as fantastic as they do in the first one. This movie feels a little bit, though, like, insofar as the plot, It was they came up with the set pieces, then we'll work backwards from that. This movie doesn't have quite the same airtightness that the first one did, and it also doesn't have the same pathos, the same character growth that we witnessed from, for instance, Dr. Grant and John Hammond in the first one. One thing I will say as well is that the jokes for the first half of this movie I thought really landed. And then for the second half of this movie, the jokes felt much more hackneyed, or felt like they didn't quite land as well as they did in the first half. There's a cheeseburger line in this one that felt really out of place. I'm going to say, also, insofar as the set pieces, they are fantastic, especially the raptor one in the grass. That has been copied numerous times since because of how great it was. So, and that's exactly what one expect out of a Steven Spielberg action set piece. So yeah, for me, between yay, nay, and in between, this one is still a yay. This one's not quite the yay that the first one is, but the first one is a stone cold all-time classic. So a yay is still high praise. However, you know what, maybe you're a fan of posh British families doing whatever they want, wherever they want, with no consequences, in which case this one might be a nay for you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe. Cheers.